The safety guidelines health officials set in place to prevent the spread of the coronavirus are essential, but some people have a hard time following them for a number of different reasons. When it comes to working in a healthcare setting, requirements have to be taken seriously, which is why Mayo Clinic Health System launched its Lead by Example campaign. One part of that campaign teaches healthcare workers how to talk to people who are resisting guidelines without escalating the situation. There are sets of instructions for them to follow. These include things like how to approach the situation and how to be polite but firm. And before formulating a response, it's important to listen to people's objections.
I think for some people wearing a mask is uncomfortable. It's not the way we normally interact with each other, but in the midst of a pandemic, it is one of the most important things we can do to prevent transmission.
The campaign also includes how healthcare workers can be role models outside of work. Mueller says he's impressed with how well people in our region have responded to the pandemic. Well, let's go ahead and take a break and check in with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Corey Malice. Another nice one out there, Corey, but kind of a broken record you were saying earlier.
Yeah, and I've got to reiterate too, it's just so important to be wearing those masks, especially if you're going to be indoors and at area businesses. I know I wear them, you wear them. We wear them outside of the studio, actually in the building, just to protect one another. But let's turn to weather. We've got high pressure building across the area. Front stalled out to our south. Now, that front's far enough south to really keep us out of any precip, but we'll get a few high clouds floating across the area for tonight. But overall dry and quiet night in store for the area. Let's take a look at those temperatures here for you across the region. It is 73 in La Crosse, 64 in Sparta, 62 right now in Eau Claire, 70 in Winona. So just some very pleasant temperatures. And those dew points right now in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Winona kind of coming in a little high at about 66. But again, relatively comfortable air for the area tonight. And as we take a live look at City Cam 8, all is quiet with just a few high clouds from time to time. 89 our high today, our low this morning 63. Now we're supposed to be at about 84 and 63, and no rain here in the La Crosse area. 73 right now, the sky currently clear, the dew point at 61. My guess is there are also some scattered high clouds out there because I've been seeing those drift by right through sunset. Winds out of the north at 3 and the river at 6.90. As we look at lows tonight, they'll drop back into the mid and upper 50s across the north. Nice comfortable night for you folks north of I-90. Down to the south, a little bit more mild with temperatures in the lower to middle 60s expected by early morning tomorrow. And keep an eye out for some fog as well, just like we saw this morning. I think there'll be some patchy valley fog out there. As we look at Thursday's highs, mainly in the upper 70s to mid 80s across the south. Looks like we've lowered that high a little bit in La Crosse to about 86, and then lower 80s, a few upper 70s across northern parts of the viewing area. So let's put our maps into motion here for you. Check out the rest of tonight. Again, just a few clouds floating by from time to time. Heading into the day tomorrow, after a little bit of fog in the morning hours, look for some sunshine through the first part of the day, and then those puffy cumulus clouds will bubble up during the afternoon, heating again. This model trying to produce a few showers. This model is always really rather aggressive when it comes to that. I think most of the day is going to remain dry, though, with a partly cloudy sky. After sunset, we lose most of those clouds, and as we head into the day on Friday, rinse and repeat, my friends. Look for, again, partly to mostly sunny skies. Temperatures a little cooler on Friday, mainly in the upper 70s to lower 80s, but that'll feel kind of nice. For tonight, down to 62, partly cloudy, patchy fog, late northeast winds, winds out of the northeast at around 5. For tomorrow, around 86, patchy morning fog, then partly cloudy and warm, northeast winds at 5 to 10. And then as we head into tomorrow night, down to 59, cool and calm for our Thursday night. And then looking ahead, again, I'm sounding like a broken record here. A lot of dry days coming up in the next 8 days. Of course, the weekend, we got to throw some rain chances in, but these are not great rain chances by any means. It'll be a weak front that'll cross the area and bring a chance for some isolated thunderstorms Saturday night and Sunday. But it will cool us down a little bit heading into the first half of next week, with highs falling back into the 70s, which should feel mighty nice. So it looks like we could tape tonight's weathercast and just run it right through Friday, because we're not going to see a lot of change in the forecast, Mike.
All right, take the next few days off, Corey.
All right, I'll see you later.
Well, stay with us. Coming up next in sports, how the Brewers ace overpowered the Pirates in Pittsburgh, and how the Loggers snagged an extra inning win from the clutches of defeat.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community. News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Brennigan.com. Let your search begin at BRENENGEN. Brennigan.com.
In a crisis, you're tested. As a nation, we've been tested before, and he has too. During the worst financial collapse in a generation, with our economy on the brink, Joe Biden led the Recovery Act that saved millions of jobs and restored the middle class. During the deadliest Ebola outbreak in history, he helped lead the response that beat back an epidemic and kept Americans safe. Now we're being tested again. And Joe Biden knows the answer is not ignoring the crisis, bailing out big corporations, and dividing a nation in pain. It's working together to protect the workers who keep us strong, rebuild the middle class, pay people what they deserve, and give every American the path to a good-paying job, a quality education, and affordable health care. That's Joe Biden, tested and ready on day one.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Lately, we've found new ways to support and care for each other. And while every gesture counts, so too does every dollar. That's why American Family Insurance is returning $425 million to our customers. This includes a 10% savings for all current and new auto customers for the rest of the year. We hope this does your world some good and reminds you that supporting your dreams means the world to us. Contact your agent or go to amfam.com to learn about more ways to save.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you from the Brennigan Auto Group Sports Desk. Here's News 8 Now's Ken Kozorowski with sports.
One of the Loggers' newest bats is making his presence felt immediately. University of Minnesota junior Ronnie Sweeney has been with the Loggers a week, and in 21 at-bats, he already has 3 home runs. The Woodbury, Minnesota native spent the last couple summers in the Northwoods League with the Lakeshore Chinooks. This summer, he was supposed to play in the Perfect Game League up in New York, but when that got canceled, he was just playing local town ball with high school seniors and ex-pros. That is, until he got a call from Loggers manager Brian Lewis.
Laying in bed one night and, Lou called me up, said, we'd love to have you, and the only thing you need to do is get a COVID test. And, the next morning I right out of bed, got a test, my results back, they were negative. And he was like, great, come down and work out. And I'm like, I got out of the house in 10 minutes and said, bye, Mom. I'm going to lacrosse right now. I'll be back, tomorrow morning.
I mean, he has major league power without a doubt. He's been very coachable. He's had full buy-in with our hitting coach, Neil White, making a couple of adjustments with his stride and getting his foot down a little sooner and things of that nature. And the results are coming.
Naturally, I jinxed him running that story because he had no hits and 2 walks tonight against Rockford, but hits were hard to come by for lacrosse. Travis Weston here gives up a run. That was his only blemish. Cam Robinson in relief in the 6th, gets the ground ball, and JT Thompson turns 2. Loggers did get their first hit in the 6th, and soon after, it's Kobe Katzo, deep drive to center, out of the diving center fielder's reach, and that's the game-tying RBI double. Now, we're still tied in the 8th. Braden Ward here trying to steal second, looks in, but then he slides past the bag, and he's tagged out. So now we go to the top of the 9th. The go-ahead run is on 3rd. The curveball gets away from the catcher, and the run comes in to give the Rivets the 2-1 lead. So bottom of the 9th, down 1 with 2 outs. Matt Stinebiser says we are not done yet. Deep fly and gone to tie the game at 2. So extra innings now. Runner starts on 2nd each frame. Rivets got theirs to 3rd, but Cam Wynn throws the fire to get out of it. So now it's the Loggers' turn. First and 3rd with 1 out. Andrew Meggs, sharp grounder. They have to try and turn 2, but they cannot do it. Jason Hodges slides home, and the Loggers walk it off 3-2.